mabuhay. Now there are certain cars out there that from the moment they're launched become instant successes. That's from the immediate launch, a lot of people line up at the dealerships to buy them in droves. This is one such car. This is the 2022 Toyota Veloz 1.5V. Is it all hype or is it worth it? We're about to find out. Let's start with the looks, and here we are up front. To me personally, it looks very similar to the RAV4, but I attribute that to the big grille over here. Toyota did add some chrome accents just to spruce it up a little bit more. There's not too much, so it's really not so bad. Interestingly though, while there is an LED function for the headlights and the clearance lamp, the fog lights are only halogen. In an even more interesting note, the Veloz doesn't come with any DRLs, which is surprising because most cars nowadays sold brand new do come with DRLs, and especially at this price range. So while that's not necessarily a big deal, I find it quite surprising that Toyota decided to omit that from the Veloz. Now, onto the side. Now, normally I don't have much to say about the side profile of most cars, but what I like about what Toyota did with the Veloz is they added this character line. It's sort of deep dish. There's a line here. It looks a little dented, but actually it's not. It's part of the design. It actually looks really good because it adds more character to the overall design of the car. You also get these nice 17-inch alloy wheels. Moving on. Over here at the rear, there's not much to write home about except from the taillights. They are LED, but apart from them being LED is the design. It's one continuous strip. So at night, you can see that the whole thing is lit up. Classy. Good job, Toyota. Now let's go inside. So now we're inside the Veloz, and at first glance, I can say Toyota really made an effort to make it feel and look more premium compared to the Avanza, which is what they were going for in the first place. Now in front of me is a fully digital 7-inch screen that houses your various vehicle information, fuel economy, speed, and so on and so forth. The steering wheel is actually wrapped in this nice leather material. It has controls for the screen here and controls for the infotainment over here. The infotainment system is a 9-inch unit that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Below that, you have a single zone automatic climate control system, your push start, your gear lever, your electronic parking brake, but the best feature, wireless charging. You don't normally see that in cars of this class, and some cars even at this price point don't have that. So it's really nice that Toyota put that in the Veloz. However, while that is a good thing, there are some negatives that I'd like to point out. Yes, the Veloz is supposed to be more premium and luxurious, but I am not really happy with the material that they used for some of the panels. Like for example, while there is soft touch for this panel over here, this hard plastic could have been better. It's not bad really. I mean, I'm probably nitpicking, but I just wish that they made it a little better. The material could be better. I've seen it in other cars. Toyota could have done that here, but that's really the only thing I have against the Veloz from this part. This being a family car, you'd expect Toyota to put a lot of creature comforts for the second row and the third row, and they delivered. In front of me, you have sleeves for you to be able to put stuff. You have a cup holder here, 2 USB ports down here, but what I like to point out is that you have a lot of cup holders in the second row, and I mean a lot. You have one here, you have another one over here, so each door has basically 2 cup holders each. And above me, you have your air conditioning vents and of course the controls for the air conditioning. This isn't really a center armrest, but it's actually for the middle seat, but you can put it down and use it as a center armrest, so it's not so bad. In terms of space, I'm quite happy with the space. That's my driving position. Not bad at all. Even the headroom, pretty good too. So overall here at the second row, good. As you can see here in the third row, it's a little bit cramped. Now in other 7-seater vehicles, you can slide the seat forward and backwards, but in the Veloz, unfortunately, you can't do that. You can only recline it a little bit more forward, but that's to the detriment of the person sitting in front of you. These seats over here also, they can only recline forwards and backwards. But in terms of creature comforts, there are cup holders, 2 each per passenger. So here in the third row, you have 4. Other than that, there's actually also a socket for you to charge your devices, so you don't have to bother anyone in front. Okay, so now that we're inside the Veloz, before I get to the driving impressions per se, let's run through the numbers. So under the hood is a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated gasoline engine that's paired to a CVT. Power is 106 PS and the torque is 138 Newton meters. Now I have to say that at first glance it doesn't sound like a lot considering this is supposed to be a people carrier, and I have to agree, it's actually not a lot. To get it up to speed takes quite a while, and to think I'm alone. So if you put your whole family and luggage and everything, then you'll really have to plan out overtakes and trying to get up to the cruising speed of 100 kilometers per hour. But to help you along, there is a power mode. So if you press this button on the steering wheel drive, which I'm going to do now, you press it once and now it's in power mode, so you can accelerate a little better. But it doesn't really make much difference, but it's there nonetheless if you need it. Now, moving on, the steering I think is very light. It's not Mitsubishi Expander light, but it's comfortable. But what I have to point out, which is my big negative about driving and riding experience, has to be the ride. Unfortunately, I find the ride to be quite uncomfortable, and I'm not exaggerating it. In the city, over certain road surfaces, it's not just bumpy, it's quite harsh. So I'm not really sure why that is. I was hoping rather that it would be a little better, considering that this necessarily isn't based on a pickup and it's supposed to be a more refined version of the Avanza. But then again, it is a people carrier like I mentioned earlier, so if you put more people and more stuff, the ride should be better. I'm really not sure. I hope so. The best thing about the Veloz though is the fact that it comes with a suite of the Toyota safety sense. Now that was normally just found in the upper models of Toyota, like the Camry, the RAV4. For the Veloz, they decided to put it also. So you don't get everything. You don't have the adaptive cruise control, unfortunately. It doesn't even get normal cruise control. But what you do get is the pre-collision system. You have an automatic high beam. You also have the lane departure alert, and it's not just an alert. I was able to test this a while ago. If you stray between the lines, there's actually a little bit of a tug from the steering wheel just to keep you there. It's not as comprehensive, I guess, as the other systems where it will literally steer for you, but it helps nonetheless. You also get blind spot monitoring, so if there are cars that are trying to overtake you before you merge lanes, there's a light in the side mirror with an accompanying beep. And lastly, rear cross traffic alert. So when you're backing out of a spot, when you're parking, it will beep if there's a person or a vehicle that's crossing behind you. So that's basically it for the driving impressions. Now, okay, I was a little bit harsh about the ride, and I understand that. Then again, it is supposed to be a budget-friendly SUV. According to Toyota, this is an SUV. If you go to their website, actually, it's classified as an SUV. But anyway, I was harsh about the ride is because I was expecting just a little bit more refinement. I mean, there are other cars in this class and for this price range that offer better ride quality. I'm not gonna say that the ride actually will break any bone in my body, no, but I was just surprised at how harsh it was at times. I just really hoped it was a little bit better, but other than that, on a daily basis, I wouldn't mind driving the Veloz at all. Now we started off this review with a question: is the Veloz worth it, or is it all hype? I honestly was not surprised that when this car was launched a few months ago that it would be this popular, because what Toyota's done essentially is bridge the gap between the Avanza and the Innova by offering something a little more premium than an Avanza. So if you don't like diesels, or if you find the Innova too big, Veloz would be perfect for you. But to answer the question, the true question, is it hype or is it worth it? The price. This particular car is the top of the line variant 1.5V. This is also the pearl white color, so that comes with an additional premium. This car costs 1,240,000 Philippine pesos. If you don't like pearl white, you can get the non-pearl white for 1,225,000 pesos. So that's not so bad. If you think about all the things that the Veloz offers, it's really actually worth it. Should you get one? That's entirely up to you. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel below, and also don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. This has been Pablo Salapantan of Yugaauto. Paalam!
Hello everyone, Pablo here of yugaauto. Now if you want to know more about the car you just watched, please scan the QR code over here. And also please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. Once again, thank you for watching. Paalam!